Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome into the facility. I must start the show by saying this. Happy Juneteenth. Happy
Say that first. That's the first thing.
Happy Juneteenth, James. Brother. Happy Juneteenth.
Who's the blame? Who's the blame that you gotta even introduce?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Rick, when you get on set momentarily, I'm expecting a happy Juneteenth from you. Happy Juneteenth. Hey, y'all, make sure you tell your black friends wherever they are. Happy Juneteenth.
Bang.
Not sure how. Bang.
Boom.
Bang. Boom, bop, bang, bop, bang. This is a big day for us. A gigantic day. I don't think there's a... Let them free.
Man.
Free. Let them free. You say it with an accent.
You're Nigerian.
I am, but I don't sound like that.
We go, he just...
We give you love. Let them free.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this is a facility. You all could be watching any show. You're hanging out with us. We don't take it for granted. A gigantic day today. I do not know how we're going to get everything in today, but thank y'all for hanging out wherever you're watching from, however you're watching, however you're tuning in. Hopefully you had a great breakfast. Congratulations. Oh, you woke up this morning. We woke up this morning free enough to do this show. Right, Shady? Right.
Say it again.
Thanks. Acho meal. Let them free. All right, let's get to it. The Ravens, they signed Jaire Alexander somehow, some way, and I would suggest this might be the biggest move of the entirety of the offseason. In case you missed it, turn your volumes up, lock in, because this is no small deal. Lamar Jackson and Jaire Alexander both played together in college in Louisville. Jaire Alexander, a multiple-time All-Pro cornerback, and you can see the multiple-time MVP is ecstatic that his former college teammate is in the building. James, let me start by trying to preface just how big a deal this is. James Jones, man to my left, he won a Super Bowl. But the only time he won a Super Bowl, I suggest only, was when Aaron Rodgers had a top-5 defense.
Only time.
If you give an elite quarterback a top-5 defense, they should give you Super Bowls in return. The one time Aaron Rodgers was given a top-5 defense, he won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls. But of those 7 Super Bowls, the 5 times he had a top-5 defense, those were the times he won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Of the 7, 5 times he had a top-5 defense, he won a Super Bowl. I suggest that to say, if you have an elite defense, you win Super Bowls. Yep. Fascinating about Lamar Jackson, he's been given a top-5 defense 4 times and has yet to win a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers got it once, he won. Tom Brady, of his 7 Super Bowl wins, 5 times a top-5 defense. Lamar Jackson has had a top-5 defense 4 times, yet to have a Super Bowl. But I would suggest once again, he's staring in the eyes of a top-5 defense. I think this move is gigantic. Would you say Jaire Alexander makes the Ravens the best team in the AFC?
Man, on paper, Acho, yes. On paper, I mean, you get Malachi Starks out of the draft to go next to Cal Hamilton, who is already an all-pro safety. Now you get Jaire to go on the other side of your first rounder in Wiggins. And you got Humphreys there still. You still got Roquan Smith in the middle of that defense. This is a phenomenal football team on paper. Right now, I cannot say there's a better team in the AFC on paper than the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, we know you have to play the game. But if Lamar Action Jackson is Lamar Action Jackson in the playoffs, because that's where they will be. They are going to be in the playoffs under Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson of the regular season in the playoffs, this could be the year of vengeance that Lamar Jackson is talking about, that he finally gets to that game. Jaire is huge, man. Jaire is a lockdown corner. Jaire is a corner that can travel. Jaire is a corner that can move into the slot. Jaire is a corner that it don't matter if you have size as a corner. It don't matter if you quick and shifty as a wide receiver. Jaire can cover all of them. We've seen him handle Justin Jefferson. We've seen him handle all different types of receivers. He's a game changer on that defensive side of the ball of the way you can even call a game. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes with the Green Bay Packers. When he was on the football field, it was a different defense, and the game was called different because he can lock down. This is huge for him. But Lamar still has to be Lamar when the playoffs come.
Yeah, I agree. I think this makes this team a little bit more dangerous. But to say they're the best in the AFC, I can't do that. The last 5-6 years, we know what team that is. That's the Chiefs. At the worst, they're going to be in the AFC Championship game, and at their best, in the Super Bowl. That's all they do for the last 5-6 years, so I can't say that they are the best team in the AFC. But I will say this, though. They make them a lot more dangerous because now you don't have to say a really, really good corner, a really good all-pro corner. You got a dog over there. Ooh. I don't know if y'all really watch him, but he's a dog, man.
Yes,
There's a lot of really good players, but it's not a lot of dogs. And I watch him not back down from nobody. When you're in a division against a guy like Justin Jefferson, who all he does is give out crazy work.
Crazy.
But he never backed down. I want that challenge. Now, I see him take picks from Minnesota and do the gritty in the end zone because he is that type of dog. And I think you match up with a guy like him that's coming over. And another thing is, like, he took less money to come over there to the Ravens. He must have seen the potential. Okay, this team is good, right? They might need that extra piece. They might need an extra dog. You add him in there with Kyle Hamilton. You add him in there with Marlon Humphreys, right? And then Nate Wiggins, Nate Wiggins, the young rookie from Clemson, who's a dog. Yeah. They're going to be good, real good.
They have to be good. To me, what the Eagles are to the NFC, the Ravens should be to the AFC as far as dominance on paper. The Ravens are the only team in football that have 5 All-Pros starting on defense since 2022. 5 of them. Not 5 Pro Bowlers, not 5 kind of good players, 5 All-Pros. Jaire Alexander, Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey, Madubuike, and then Roquan Smith. 5 All-Pros. 5 first-round picks just at DB alone. Okay, bring me on camera. They don't need to see that anymore. When I think about the Baltimore Ravens, it's simple for me. They could have the best cornerback tandem in football. When you think about Jaire Alexander and Nate Wiggins or Jaire Alexander and Marlon Humphrey. And if Malachi Starks is in the league, what he showed the potential to be in college at Georgia, they should and could have the best safety tandem in football. So you got the best cornerback tandem in football. You got the best safety tandem in football. You have arguably the best linebacker in football in Roquan Smith. I would suggest Fred Warner. If you want to say Roquan Smith, I won't argue with you. And then Madubuike, you have a top 5 defensive lineman in all of football. I would suggest his ability to play the run and rush the passer. So you got the best cornerback tandem in football, potentially the best safety tandem in football. You have one of the best, if not the best linebackers in football, then one of the best defensive linemen in football. Then on offense, littered with first-round picks. Littered with first-round picks. I need them to step up. Zay Flowers, I need them to step up. Rashad Bateman, I need them to step up. DeAndre Hopkins, I need them to step up. But littered with first-round picks all across the offense. What the Eagles are to the NFC, the Ravens should be to the AFC as it pertains to dominance, especially on paper. I do not know what can stop them 2-5. I just don't know. When you got Derrick Henry plus Lamar Jackson plus Zay Flowers, that's just offensively. Then defensively, it's nothing but animals.
Yeah, but it's this team, man. They got a big-sized coach and a really, really great quarterback with good hair. That's the Chiefs. And it's like, I don't even care what the paper says. I watched last year the Bills not have much on paper, and they go to the AFC Championship game. I watched the Chiefs. People don't look at it the same because it's Patrick Mahomes and it's the Chiefs and Andy Reid, but they didn't really have much on offense. They dealing with reserves. A lot of guys was injured. Backups got to go in there and start. And they went all the way to the AFC Championship game, then they went to the Super Bowl. So at this rate, man, we can look at paper, right? I was once with this team, they labeled as the dream team.
Yeah, very true.
And we had a lot of first round, we had a lot of talent. I mean, it was speed everywhere. It was size, it was muscles. It was everything. It was coaches. We can't lose. How we going to lose?
Lost a lot of them.
And you know what we did? Now, we started out 4-1.
Yeah.
And we ended. When we ended, James, we only won 4 games. So the paper don't matter to me. What matters is actually going out there getting it done. And they're like, you know who you got to face. See, the thing that's beautiful about this sport of football is there ain't no playoffs where you got to face 5 teams or play one team 5 times. It's one time. And every time we get to this point, it's going to be 2 teams. It's going to be the Bills or the Chiefs. And we know that. So Ravens, y'all know who y'all got to face. Y'all know what it is.
What's stopping them, though?
You know what?
You said there's a dude over there, big coach. And who else you said?
Quarterback with good hair.
Quarterback with
that's
good hair.
Number 15. And then in Buffalo, it's cold, but they got this quarterback that's like Superman.
Yeah.
That's it, though.
And that's what's stopping them.
Yeah.
Those 3.
But to me...
Because number 8's a Superman, too.
Correct.
Yes.
Just not in the playoffs.
Correct.
Josh got Superman numbers in the playoffs. So does Patty. The only person without Superman numbers in the playoffs is Lamar. And he's the only one that ain't beat.
See, I can't buy that. I
have to.
If you watch that last playoff game against Ravens versus the Bills, you can't put that on Lamar.
But you got to go the whole game.
Got to go the whole game. Not the second half. Not the second half.
Time out for a second.
I'm time all
y'all all play football.
Yes, sir.
So y'all just play perfect games?
No. But I was never a 2-time MVP.
Wait, time out.
Personally.
Well, Pat don't always play perfect games either.
He doesn't, but he wins them.
Bro. Stop with the malarkey. All right, seriously. Lamar didn't play well the first half. Second half was on fire.
Fire.
And then my all-pro tight end drops the pass to tie the game, and we played on Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
I was always sought this, fellas. You ready? You know, when they take that chest.
Pat the chest.
It ain't how you start the game.
How you finish.
All right, and he finished strong.
Here's my thing, though, because even when Shady was talking about Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, that's no longer an acceptable excuse for me for why Lamar Jackson hasn't gotten to one. It's no longer an acceptable, and I put in quotes the words excuse. Patrick Mahomes is great. Andy Reid is maybe the greatest. But y'all know this, and we know this, I would suggest, and I would hope better. Football's the ultimate team sport. Yeah. If this was a game of basketball, if it was tennis, we all just watch Coco Gauff win individually. If it's basketball, only 5 players on the court at a time, then you could suggest to me that one Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and one J-Dub could win a whole thing. It's football. It's 11 people.
No doubt.
At the point in which Lamar Jackson has gone to war with Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen and Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton and Jadeveon Clowney and Madu BK, at the point in which he's gone to war with those people and didn't win, at the point in which, Shady, I'm looking at it, he had a number 1 defense in 2023. Yeah. The number 1, not 2, 3, number 1. 2022, he had the number 3 defense. 2019, he had the number 3 defense. 2020, he had the number 2 defense. Yeah. It's no longer an excuse because Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are absolutely phenomenal, and you can never discredit them. But we're talking about 2 people. Offensively, bring in Travis Kelce. Now we're talking about 3 people. The Ravens have gone to battle. Shady, I said 5 All-Pros on defense alone. You talk about the Cowboys, they had 9 All-Pros. Mind you, 1 was a punter, 1 was a kicker, and 1 was a kick returner. You talk about the Ravens, they have 5 All-Pros on defense alone starting. Yeah. Not kickers, not punters, not long snappers, bona fide dudes. Lamar, it has to be enough.
And not only that, because
Lamar's just
even every time we stand up here and I argue for Aaron Rodgers, I said we didn't get back to another Super Bowl. So I understand you saying it ain't just one person, but it ain't just one game for Lamar.
Yeah.
It's plenty of games in the playoffs that Lamar Jackson has not looked like the MVP Lamar Jackson. And that's the problem. Whether we like it or not, you can't have a bad first half against Patty and Josh. You can't. Yeah. It's going to be hard to overcome. Them dudes ain't making mistakes like that. So Lamar Jackson, you have to be the best player on the field. You have to. And in the playoffs, he hasn't. And that is, to me, is what's stopping them from getting to the Super Bowl. Even when they had the number 1 defense and they had Patty and them at the crib, their defense pitched a shutout in the second half.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Lamar and them couldn't score. Lamar, you the MVP. You got to score. You at the crib. You got to score. You got to win some of those games.
It's just mind-blowing to think that Lamar gets blamed for all this. I guess he's the best player. Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
He's by far the best player.
It's terrible. But y'all played this thing, man. Y'all suit up. Y'all put that helmet on. Y'all put that mouthpiece in.
No doubt.
You smell that grass on Sunday.
Correct.
And y'all blame him for everything. Like this last game he had against the Bills. That was all on him?
Not all. Of course, not all.
I'm not saying all, but I'm saying he wasn't at his best, though.
Yeah.
He would look damn good
in
that
that second half. He didn't turn the ball over for like 10 weeks straight, and then you get into the playoff game, you want to do it twice in the first half?
And then what, though, James?
And then you lost.
There is no and then what? Yeah, and then you lost 2-5.
Okay, cool. So I guess from now on, I'm gonna write that down too. Y'all say some crazy things on this show, man. So now the dude got to be perfect from quarter 1 to 4. He played bad the first half. Cool. The second half, how he look like that?
He looked great. I'm not saying you got to play perfect. I'm just saying you got to play better than Patty and Josh.
That's it.
In sports, there's all type of games we can watch. You go to the classics and you see guys that play bad in the first half and they have a great second half.
No
and
question.
then memories are made. So if the tight end catches that pass because you're all pro, right? You tie the game up, and then anything can go from there. But that could be the story for the decades.
Here's what you know, though, Shady. Here's what you know is that at the point in which Lamar has yet to even get to the game, that's where there's no longer an excuse. If it was once, I'm with you. If it was just this last Bills game, fine. But you got to talk about the Ravens game at the bank the year before against the Chiefs when you had the number 1 defense in football and the Kansas City Chiefs were limping into that game. They did not have receivers that could catch the ball. We were talking about it most notably. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he was one of the leading receivers that year. Lamar Jackson, you get sacked, fumbled early on in that game. Chiefs recover. Chiefs are going in. All of a sudden, you get no points. Before we look up, the Chiefs, who could not score on offense that year, could not score. They had 14 points to Lamar Jackson, you're 3. And now the game is over before we know it. Like James said, I think the Ravens either pitched a shutout in the second half or only allowed 3 points in the second half. Your defense only gives up 17 points, if I'm not mistaken, to that Chiefs team. And you lost.
Yeah.
So
the Zay Flowers fumble on the 1 yard, that don't matter either.
Of course it matters. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. But what I am suggesting is we've seen great quarterbacks overcome the mistakes of themselves or the mistakes of their teammates. And unfortunately, Lamar Jackson has not to win.
Well, look. It's Lamar's fault. Cool. I'm with you guys.
Not all his fault, and I don't want to be facetious.
It sounds like
I'm putting most of it on Lamar because Last year, going to play Josh Allen, Lamar clearly had the better team.
Yeah.
Clearly. We didn't even think Josh should be there. Josh played out of his mind. Got newfound respect because I wasn't on Josh Allen's roller coaster. Me and you argue about that
and
a lot.
I was right about that, too. But
you was right about that. But Lamar's going in there with the better team. He did not outplay Josh.
Yeah.
When Patty came to you at the crib, it wasn't even close.
It
was not close. And you did not win that game, and you did not look like the MVP Lamar. That's all I'm saying. In the playoffs, we need that dude. If we get half of that dude, you in one or two of these Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You are, because your teams is that good.
That's all it is for me. He doesn't got to go to everyone.
No.
But at the point in which Lamar, I think, is going on year 7 and has had 4 number 1 defenses, I need you to go to 1. Again, Aaron Rodgers had a top 5 defense once. He went to 1 and he won it. Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls. 5 of those were top 5 defenses. Lamar has had 4 top 5 defenses, and I'm not counting his rookie year because that would really make 5 top 5 defenses. Just get to 1. Just get to. You're great. You're greater than everybody else. Get to 1.
I mean, they've been winning. He got to get to that game. They gonna win. Lamar gonna win. They gonna be in the playoffs. He got to find a way to get to that game.
Imagine this. The best pasta sauce you have ever tasted sits abandoned on a plate. Wasted sauce. That is a tragedy. If only you had used Barilla al Bronzo pasta. Its bronze-cut texture holds your sauce and scoops up every last drop. The Italians call that scarpetta. Capture sauce the Italian way. Barilla al Bronzo. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
Hey, Caitlin Clark, she got a little bloodied, you could say. Black and blue, you could say. Anyway, Acho, stop playing around. Read the prompt. She was poked in the eye by J.C. Sheldon, then knocked to the floor by Marina Mabry. The WNBA players
fell down.
She fell down.
She fell down.
It's been a completely polarizing topic. Caitlin Clark, obviously the star of the WNBA, one of several stars, but you could suggest she shines the brightest, even though she's not the best player. Many would suggest it goes to different individuals. Shady, you said something yesterday I want you to have more time to elaborate on. Do you believe the refs need to do more to protect Caitlin Clark?
I do. And I think it stems from the commissioners, right? Whoever's running this league, there need to be an email sent out that says, hey, we need to protect our biggest asset. I'm being serious here.
I know
This whole thing is about business, right? I always tell my son this because he's like, man, why he ain't out there playing? I'm like, oh, listen, people to the rest of the world, it's a sport. But there's a business side of things, right? That's why players team up with this player because it's a business thing. How can I benefit myself the most and make the most money? Well, I relate that to WNBA, where there was a point in time where nobody was really watching the WNBA. And there was a lot of better players than Caitlin Clark. Like, Maya Moore was phenomenal.
She was like that.
Candace Parker was phenomenal, right? But they still wasn't like a main attraction like Caitlin Clark is. You know what? We can safely say this. Maybe she's the most important WNBA player we ever seen, right? Because look at the viewerships, look at the money. This year they're going to touch $1 billion because of her, right? And I think of when she doesn't play, nobody really watches. She skipped like 2-3 weeks and like 55% viewership went down. She came back, the next game was almost 3 million people watched. So that shows you how important she is. That's one part. The most important part about it is this. If I'm a ref, right, and I don't want to treat anybody like more special than the other one. But that is sports. Nothing's fair, right? Michael Jordan, he was the man, he got more favorable calls than other people. LeBron James, the same. So what I'm saying is, if she fouled somebody or they fouled her, cool. But when you purposely hitting her hard like that, like the girl poked her, all right, that's basketball, happens. Yeah. The other girl come from the blind side and knock her down, nobody even knows who that girl is, respectfully. If she goes out of this game and she doesn't play for 2 weeks, that won't do nothing to the ratings at all.
Mabry goes out. Yeah, that's it.
If she goes out for 2 weeks for knocking down Caitlin Clark, that doesn't do anything to the ratings. True. If Caitlin Clark is hurt for 2 weeks from this girl knocking her down, right, after the whistle, a dirty play, it hurts the viewership. Now, let's say, knock on wood, it gets deeper and she misses a year or two. What happens to the ratings? We got to think about the business part. I keep telling this thing to you guys. So maybe I'll give you an example. I'm coming to watch Caitlin Clark, right? But if you want to watch a girl that look like Kyrie Irving, it's a girl on her team. Kelsey Mitchell.
Kelsey Mitchell like that.
It's like that. Step backs, yanking you back, everything.
Off the
so with me watching Caitlin, I found another player that I like even more than her. That's the viewership. That's the power that she has. And I keep saying, like, it's a business. If they always talk about how there's not equal pay in women's basketball compared to NBA. Well, I hear that, but why was people paying to watch y'all play? Now they are. So when you keep Caitlin Clark on the floor and you protect her a certain way, now you bring in more money, more revenue, more commercials. I haven't seen so many commercials, so many advertisements for women's basketball. Now, who y'all think that's because? Because Caitlin Clark. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying, hey, give her fake fouls. Oh, they touched her as a foul. No, I'm not saying that. But we can't be letting people knock the superstar that's got the whole world watching women's basketball. We can't let that happen. Can't let that happen.
Where I agree with Shady is here.
You gotta agree with me, brother.
I agree with him on this. I think the refs need to levy heavier punishments for non-basketball plays that occur during basketball games. That's where I'm at. Because it's not a coincidence that Marina Mabry thinks she can get away with checking Caitlin Clark because she saw her teammate check Caitlin Clark, body check her to the ground, and there was no punishment. Go back to here. Kennedy Carter, remember, that was last year with the Sky. Marina Mabry is a part of the Sky at that point in time. Kennedy Carter didn't get ejected. She only got a favorite one. So if I know that's tolerable, well, if I'm Marina Mabry, cut to that tape, please, now, Colvin. If I'm Marina Mabry and I saw my teammate do it a year ago, I know I can get away with this. So you have to levy heavier punishments. You have to levy heavier punishments for non-basketball plays that occur during basketball games. I don't think it needs to be any special rule. It just needs to be a common sense rule. It's a non-basketball play. That shouldn't just be a flagrant one. Again, for those who want to suggest, well, we need to be gender neutral, I'm reminded of Tom Brady, Bernard Parler. I want to show you all the hit. If you're a little squeamish, you can look away. Bernard Parler hits Tom Brady low towards the ACL. Boom. Tom Brady misses the entire 2008 season, if I'm not mistaken, the majority of the 2008 season, the year after they started 19-0. And as a result, there was the Brady rule. What was the Brady rule that was implemented? Hey, a defender cannot initiate a roll or lunge and forcibly hit the passer in the knee area or below, even if he is being contacted by another player. That is now emphasized in 2009 because Tom Brady missed the 2008 season after Tom Brady shined in the 2007 season. Caitlin Clark has shined in the 2024 season. We do not want to wait for an injury to occur to have to implement a Caitlin Clark rule. All I'm saying is non-basketball plays that occur during basketball games, just levy heavier punishments to deter basketball players from doing it. That's all I'm suggesting. Uh-oh, why the sigh, Rick? Why the sigh?
I don't want any special rules. And I've watched Marina Mabry, and I went to a Seattle Valkyrie game last weekend. Caitlin Clark was nowhere to be seen. Caitlin Clark has already introduced us to the WNBA, and we've already come to appreciate it. You bought the league pass.
I did.
You bought the league pass.
Spent my hard
You didn't buy the Indiana Fever pass.
Watching the game.
You bought the league pass, right? And you're watching games other than the Indiana Fever, correct? And you're appreciating the players. The physicality of the women's game is part of the attraction. This chippiness and this going back and forth is part of the attraction. We appreciate it because it looks like they really care.
Yeah.
They all really care. They're playing for something. And can we play your clip again?
Which one?
I want you to see the beginning of that clip, the previous one, not the Mabry one.
Kennedy Carter.
The clip. Watch Caitlin Clark as she's getting bumped and how she. Now give me the close-up on this, right?
What are we looking for?
Referee, did you see that? Did you see that? She bumped me. I went down. Are we going to do something? Look at the look. She knows she's coming. She gave her the little, I see it coming.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying she knows what she's doing. She may not be a flopper, but she's an embellisher.
Ooh.
I know I'm about to get bumped. I'm going to go down. Can I get a call here?
She asked for this?
She knows what she's doing with Mabry. She's walking away. She gets bumped. She gets chest bumped, and she goes down.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Wait.
There's nothing happening. To my knowledge, she has yet to be fouled where she has missed a single minute of a game.
You think she's seen this right here? You think she's seen this coming? One more time.
She's ready.
I'm talking about Kennedy Clark or this.
You think she's seen that right there?
You think she got bumped hard enough to go down in that situation?
This is what I will say, though.
Slick.
I like your toughness, Slick.
Come on,
I like
Slick.
your toughness.
You serious?
Let me say this, though.
Go ahead,
let
James.
me say this. Number one, I am with Slick for half of that. I'm not with Slick for the other half.
I'll take
the
half.
half that I'm with Slick is you do not want to take the competitiveness and the chippiness out of the WNBA. Because watching these games, I believe that what makes the WNBA, because they do be out there scrapping. And it's not just when they're playing Caitlin Clark. It's when they're playing each other. And it can be totally different games, totally different teams. So I want to keep that. But what I will say is the extra stuff after the whistle has to stop. And that's an easy correction. That doesn't have nothing to do with the refs. Acho, you showed Tom Brady's knee. Now when a player hits a quarterback low, what are they doing? They're fining them, and they taking their money. It's a couple things in this world that you truly, truly care about. That's your family, and that's your bread.
That's your money.
So let's just talk about this real quick, because the league can fix this easy. Okay, so Sheldon, the one that fouled her, poked her in the eye. She make $81,000. After taxes, that's $40,000. Say if you get a flagrant foul after a whistle, it's $10,000 fine. How many do you think you have?
Dang, come on, man.
I'm just keeping it real. How many do you think it have? Mabry, she's one of the highest paid players in the WNBA at $200,000. After taxes, that's $100,000. So listen, during the play, if you get a flagrant, cool. We'll talk about it. Ain't no fine. If you get a flagrant foul after the whistle, $10,000 fine. How many do you think we'll have?
Yeah.
The refs ain't got to do nothing.
That's fair.
This is what it is. A flagrant after the whistle, that's a non-basketball play, is $10,000, whether you like it or not. Yeah. I guarantee you there'll be a lot of people saying, the whistle stopped. Yeah. I guarantee you, once you start playing with that money, it's a very easy fix.
To be fair, Mabry did,
They upgraded
after the fact, they upgraded it to a flagrant tool.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Flagrant 2, and she is going to be fine. I do believe, and this is where I agree with you guys, like, I do believe that the refs can quell some of this. Because if you watch all of those, like, you never see the refs come in.
Taking control, yeah.
Even the flagrant foul at the end of that game, it's security that comes in to break it up. Like, look, when you're a ref on the floor, just like you're an athlete on the field, you know when things are starting to get heated, right? And you're on guard. And so as soon as you know that, anything happens, refs got to jump in there and stop all of this.
I got a question. And Colvin, let's look at this tape again. I got a question. Do y'all think this was a Sophie Cunningham tape? Because look at after Cunningham fouls, Cunningham is wearing the number 8 jersey. You see, she doesn't turn. She's ready. Watch intensely. After she fouls, two people come towards her, and she about that action. Do you think Caitlin needs to do more to protect herself in the interim?
1,000%.
I don't know that Caitlin would have done
1,000%.
that. I think if Caitlin fouls somebody hard, I don't know that Caitlin would have stood on her heels and then dug her feet in the ground. Like, obviously, I'm with Shady in the part of like, hey, the refs need to do more. But you know the old quote, God helps those who help themselves. Right. Will the refs help those who help themselves as well? Shady, you seem like you're in disagreement.
Yeah, because y'all talking about Caitlin like she's just a regular player out here. She's not. Out of all the commissioners for the NBA, right, who would you say was the best one? Would you say David Stern? I'm asking you, Slick. You know the most.
Timing, yes.
Timing, right?
Sure.
Why was he so good? Because he found a way to monetize his superstars. Yeah. When I look at the Bird and Magic, how that thing went down, the NBA wasn't doing well there, right?
Are they not monetizing?
Hold on. I don't think so. I keep saying the biggest reason why you talking about all these other girls playing, nobody watching for them. Sorry.
But they're watching them now.
You and James, respectfully love y'all don't count. It's millions of people around the world that's watching because Caitlin Clark. Let me ask you a question.
League pass don't count.
Let me ask you a question, sir. Before I get to my take, when you start really diving into watching women's basketball?
When Caitlin Clark joined the NBA.
Check. Now you probably been on it, right?
Yes.
Okay. What about you?
Only because of today. So
that's your friend.
Yeah, my homie.
But if your friend wasn't there,
no, it's because my daughter.
I never really seen women's basketball on TV like that.
But you talking about truly following, though. Not like going and watching one game and not.
Okay.
Yeah. Like right now, I know truly watch it. Like I watch all the games.
I know who's good, right?
Yeah. I watch all of them.
So me too, and that's most of the world. So my thing is, now that we finally have one of those, one of them GOATs, one of them Jordans, one of them Birds, one of them Magics, one of them LeBron James, Steph Currys, we need to take care of that thing. So the Jordan, though, right? When Michael Jordan was playing and he was this and that third, he was a regular player. They say, you know what? We have something. And we might not have him long. We don't know how long we got him. But when we got him, let's make sure we get the biggest and most valuable out of him. So then we start going global, right? Mm-hmm. Do y'all remember this?
Of course.
So now when I'm sitting here like, okay, now women's basketball, we've never had that. We had better players, but we never had most popular players, okay? So now we got one. Why wouldn't we protect her? So if Acho's right, she can't protect herself a certain way. Cool, all right, bet. Let's find a way to protect our most best asset.
But what I'm asking you is this.
What are we talking about?
Jordan didn't get punked.
No.
So though the refs protected Jordan, Jordan also protected himself. Jordan wasn't out there getting punked. So what I'm saying is I agree
Jordan
with you.
became the guy.
He wasn't getting punked.
He didn't need to.
But he
didn't need to.
2-5, Jordan was never getting punked.
Now, how
whether
about
it was
this?
his teammates at practice he was punching, whether it was the opponent that he was checking, my problem is Caitlin getting punked. Does she need to protect herself?
So look, when they was whooping on Jordan and all that, and then he became the champ, because he fought back, he became the champ. When he became the champ, it was his league, all that Pistons behavior was gone. Oh, Jordan's arrived.
Yeah.
It's over with. Am I lying?
And you know what?
Yeah.
Caitlin ain't there yet.
Why?
No. Part of the legacy of Michael Jordan is that he went through the Pistons, and he lived through that treatment, and that's my issue with having special rules for Caitlin Clark her second year in the league. It's like now you're undermining her, because now we're saying, oh, she's too delicate. We got to treat her with kid gloves. She's too valuable.
I'm not saying
we got to treat her different than any other player. No, I agree with you. There's ways to avoid too much of the extracurricular activity. But to this point, this is part of the attraction. Because you got people that are so heated about, look at how Caitlin's being treated.
So?
And yet Caitlin is still getting busy and getting it done.
She's the reason why we watching.
That's right. That's why we're
all
watching.
these girls getting these basketball deals. You think they're just giving them out?
None of that.
We have MVPs over MVPs that don't get more attention than her. But this is what I'm saying. If Caitlin fouls my heart some way, I'm cool with that. If they foul her, I'm cool with that. But the girl poking her eye and then another girl coming up and knocking her down, you can't be doing that.
So I will.
Because we're not talking about a regular player, though. I don't think y'all hear what I'm saying. What I'm saying is all the girls in basketball, they all right here, right? And then you got the superstars, right? A'ja Wilson, you got his levels, right? But then you got Caitlin. And what I'm saying is other people get attention for trying to do things to her. She's that great, bro. And I think it's time for us to start treating her like that.
She is that great, but
I don't get what we talking about. If this is football, the quarterbacks, they won't be letting that happen.
But now,
think about that for a second. Maybe if it was Michael Vick or Cam Newton, yeah. But if it's Tom Brady and it's Peyton Manning, if it's John Elway, they not doing that to them.
We're not talking about during the whistle, though. We're talking about after the whistle.
That's what I'm talking about.
So listen, though. I'm with Acho. You have a daughter. You have a young daughter.
Yes, I do.
If you've seen her getting treated like this after the whistle, yeah, you'll be frustrated, but you'll probably tell her to stop turning your back and protect yourself.
Is my daughter Messiah? Did she save the league?
Whatever she is.
No, it's not no whatever. That's not
but
whatever.
If she's getting hit after the whistle, why are you walking away, turning your back? They after you.
That's what I'm saying. Obviously, the girl can't protect herself. She can't do that.
I'm not saying swing and fight and do all that.
What's what I'm saying, though?
Walking away, turning her back.
She keeps doing it, right?
You can't talk junk and then walk
She keeps doing it, right?
She keep doing it.
I bet. So that lets you know that, okay, well, you just can't change, right? Right? I don't know if you ever had family members that do bad stuff. They do something they just can't change, right? You know, they come to the house, you got to lock the door, put all your jewelry in your pocket because you know they just can't change, okay? What I'm saying is this, bro. If she can't change, cool. As the league, we got a great asset. Everything in life is about getting that money in your pocket, right? You hear what I'm saying? Now we have the person in hand. We have her. Why would you let somebody destroy the Messiah that's going to help everybody?
After the whistle, I agree. That's why I said start hitting their pocket.
You go to break,
but if that is my daughter, turn your back one more time after you done talked some junk and you done been knocked down 4-5 times. Stop turning your back.
The Messiah. But if
Messiah,
send an email out.
I'm not reading it.
The email says, yo, protect the Messiah at all costs.
I'm not
and if you don't,
it went to the spam folder.
Reading it now.
I can't wait to get an email from Shedeur.
Yo, I will hate the business with y'all. I can't do business with y'all dudes.
And Shedeur Sanders issued a speeding ticket by the police early Tuesday morning, driving 101 miles an hour, which was 41 miles per hour over the 60 miles per hour speed limit. Now, the Browns have ended their minicamp last week, but Shedeur, I think, hung around the town and was speeding in a 60 James. Does this speeding ticket impact Shedeur Sanders' chances to win the starting job?
No. Come on, man. We've seen a lot of players do a lot of worse things and not impact the way the team treated them or them earning a starting spot. Man, the dude is a young fella and is a speeding ticket. He wasn't drinking. He didn't have no illegal stuff in the car, none of that. He just was speeding. That's it. This should have no impact when training camp comes around of any rotation, of how they gonna handle none of that. The young fella was speeding. I don't think this will have an impact. He still has the same opportunity. Get ready, learn from this. Do not be out there doing stupid things like this, but learn from this and get ready for training camp and go get ready to compete for a starting job. It shouldn't have anything.
I got a question, though, because I know the NFL is such a big brand and everything, but I work for Fox. So if I'm driving and I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking, like that, and I had somewhere to be, and I'm just driving real fast, will Fox care? If I get caught driving 100 miles per hour in one of my cars,
I wouldn't be in here because
probably
number one, nobody would ever know.
But I'm saying, let's just it's got out there. You know what I mean?
I doubt it'd be that significant.
You see what I'm saying? Like, now, if he did something real serious, cool. He ain't harm nobody. Like, Shedeur's really a good kid.
Yeah. But here's my thing, though, because I want to stop down for a moment. I don't want to downplay going 101 and a 61. Like, it's not like it was safe. Again, we've seen incidents happen with NFL players and with prospective NFL players. I don't want to name names.
He wasn't drinking, though. He wasn't drinking.
Of course not, but there have been other tragic and sad stories of even collegiate athletes that were speeding in it. So I don't want to downplay as if it's no big deal. It's not a monumental deal. Nobody was harmed, though somebody could be harmed. To Shady's point, he wasn't drinking. Drinking plus driving is a terrible offense. But I just don't want to act like it's nothing. Y'all got kids. Y'all both got sons. If your son was going 101, you would just be like, you're a kid, son. No big deal. You can say something.
No, but I would say is like, be smart, don't do them type of things. But then again, I was a kid like that, though. I've drove fast like that.
Everybody has.
Come on, he got a new car. He's hanging out. And it's what, 12 o'clock a.m., or 1 a.m., something like 2 a.m.?
12:24.
Ain't nobody outside for real. You probably had somewhere to be. At that time at 2 a.m., 1 a.m., you probably had somewhere to be. You couldn't wait to get there.
I don't think it'll impact his starting job, but I do think the immaturity that it takes 1-2 speed, those kinds of decisions will impact the starting job. This by itself, not at all. But when you go in this fast, it's probably a sign of immaturity. We've all sped. We all have. I haven't recently, only because I'm old and I understand speeding at 12:24, it's not even about you. I don't trust who else is on the road at 12:24. Y'all know me. I've never drank. I don't drink. So I know I ain't drunk. But at 12:24, people who got somewhere to be, they might be. And so I don't think this will impact the starting job, nor do I think it should impact the starting job. It's just making sure, like James said, learn from it.
That's it.
Because if you don't learn from it, those decisions could. But this by itself,
nobody up here saying it was the right thing to do. All right, young fella, you shouldn't be out there speeding, but it's a speeding ticket.
Speeding ticket.
With no alcohol, no drugs,
Marijuana,
no nothing in the car. Like, it's a speeding ticket. So for me, like I say, he was blessed to get a ticket. Nothing happened because nothing happened crazy. Learn from it, move on, but it shouldn't impact anything on the football field.
And you got the Browns. You got real stuff to worry about, like being good teams. Been bad for a long time.